So we can talk about all kinds of good stuff here.
I mean, sometimes it's so hard to understand the focus, and I'm not saying I'm only speaking for myself, especially if you don't. Once again, especially if you don't apply what you've learned to the new stuff that you're learning, it's almost like you can lose track or lose. I mean, it's like you can't see the end of it. You just can't see the end because you just ain't been trained in certain areas to be able to do that.
Well, but he really has boiled it down an awful lot. The basic documentation hasn't changed in the last 6 weeks. We've improved and we've updated the form, but much of what's on, just look at the W8BEN. Much of it is still the same outline as we had before. He's just amplified it some more.
That's right, Thomas. But since we've been on this journey with Patrick, like us being a foreign entity, it seemed like it just seems like it. I ain't saying I know what I'm talking about per se, but it just seems like we lost sight of that for a minute. And that's the one thing right there that and that ain't necessarily true, but we should never lost sight of us being on the outside looking in the sense of how we word in these documents in terms of us being foreign versus a corporation. And right. I know from going along this journey with everybody else that, of course, Patrick ain't never lost sight of that for real. But when we start using their documents again, that's what started throwing me for a loop, for lack of a better word, because, we should never use their stuff.
Well, that's what he's taking away, because I think we don't want to take those 56 forms that are on IRS format.
Yeah.
But I do see one difference here. He originally set up the W8BEN with our private bank being a foreign financial institution and a private banker being the fiduciary for that. Well, if you take a look at the new one, and it depends on what you're looking at. Each side is foreign to the other.
Yeah.
Okay, and in number 4 here now, he has the Social Security Administration is a foreign financial institution, and the charterer of the granted vessels.
I see what you're saying, Tom.
Oh, and we're both foreign for both financial institutions, and we're foreign to each other. So it's not that the other one was wrong; it's that we're just looking at it at a different angle.
Yes, exactly. So they can recognize us as just that. It's just so they won't reject us again.
Right. So I've been going over the W8BEN, and I have a few questions that I'm going to have in it.
I got a question. Can I ask you now?
Sure.
If a slave don't really have no rights, shouldn't we be trying to get our rights first through the banking aspect of it?
We do have our rights. What we have to do is not be under their jurisdiction where they take the rights and translate them into privileges.
That's exactly right. That's what I mean. So you've got to be on one side before you can pull from the other side, right?
Right. Yeah, you've got to realize your own power and your own status.
Okay.
That's basically where we're the owner of the ship.
Yeah. But see, that's my whole thing, Tom. See, we know we the owner. They don't. I'm just saying, for lack of a better word, the agents don't know this because they just doing what they were told to do.
Right.
But now obviously we have to show to some degree, or at least on paper, for lack of a better word, that we are separated from that corporate entity. Now,
yes, but we're doing that by going to the top, and that's basically where the issue has been, is just finding exactly where the top is. You know how Patrick gets things done. When the people down at the lower level don't give you the right answer, you ask to talk to their supervisor.
That's right. Don't never go to the tail. You always go to the
right.
head.
That's how they protect their system, is by don't tell their people everything so that they won't blab.
Yeah. No
okay.
doubt.
Now, I did find out an interesting thing yesterday, that the driver's license bureau does notarization for $1.50 a page.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. That's well, I mean, for real, I mean, the county recorder do it for free, so.
Right, but in a particular case, I was with a friend yesterday who wanted to get something notarized, and he asked a cop, and they said go to the license bureau, which was the closest thing there. And we went in, and we had absolutely no trouble. So if you're having trouble with any particular group doing it, the license bureau just does it without question.
Wow. And I'm pretty sure that's the least. That's the problem we ain't never had. Really, was getting stuff notarized.
Well, yes, but remember that right now we need a government authorized notary, not a commercial notary, which you will find in banks and lawyer offices.
That's right.
That's fucking awesome information, Tom. That right there, awesome. Right to the licenses department, the DMV.
DMV.
Damn.
I would have never thought of it. I mean, it was just lucky that I stumbled into it, talking to somebody, driving around a little bit.
Well, Thomas, I got to ask another question before Patrick get on. I think I asked him this before. I can't remember what his answer was, but I'm just, putting it out there. Since we are foreign, and then most of us do have our seals or our embosses, for lack of a better word, why can't we just use that? I mean, no. I'm not saying in place of the notary or anything. I'm just saying just in the sense of us using it in terms of a foreign capacity on our shit. I'm saying, for us on the foreign side instead of, in the corporate side.
Well, yes, but we're look at the WADB signing.
Your thumbprint in red with DNA in it is good enough, okay?
All right, Patrick. Yeah. So
okay. Now, I posted a document up there, and I'm pretty sure Tom posted it up. The substitute W8BEN. Okay?
Right. We were talking about that.
Now, does anybody understand, or everybody understand what that is saying?
I do. That's an awesome document.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Billing.
And see, in most cases, they, in the commercial side, they are the beneficial owners. You gave them, under charter, a title to the item. Okay, so they're the beneficial owners by that fraudulent title, and it's a fraudulent concealment. And then they're also acting as an incidental beneficiary enjoyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're the ones that owe the taxes. But they're holding, okay, or the payment for the bills, but they're holding the credits. Now, with the document that I posted up there today, UCC 5108, I think it was.
That's
okay.
it. Oh.
We have to issue a letter of credit to release the credits to them so that they can settle the bill. I thought we were already operating under a letter of credit when we set the thing up. No. We basically placed our cargo on board the vessel from the de jure treasury. Now they're holding our credits. We have to give them a letter of credit to release our credits.
And that's going to be on the negative side, right? Still.
Whatever, okay? Just a letter of credit to release the credits. Okay? Read that article, section 5108.
Right, I put that in the charter notes, Patrick.
Well, the document should be up there too, okay?
Well, I didn't get it. I thought you canceled it because you had it.
No, I didn't cancel it. Basically, it's somewhere on one of your computers if it downloaded.
No, it didn't download. Skype is acting crazy. I'm getting most of the downloads, but every once in a while they say canceled. But you had posted the text of it up, so I put that in.
It says file sent. Okay? So you got two different computers there you're playing with. One of them got sent somewhere. Okay, so it's downloaded.
Okay. Well, I'll have to find it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Just click on it and see if it opens up.
It doesn't.
It should open up in Word.
No, it doesn't. It says sending canceled. I'll have to sort out what's happening there. My Skype loads.
I just sent it to you again, okay?
Okay.
I also sending you that address again for the Social Security Inspector General.
Yes.
Okay. So post it up in a new section there, and basically it's all we have to do is we have to issue a letter of credit.
Okay.
Now, how I got into looking at some of this stuff was because I was going back and trying to do a substitute form 56F. Okay, that is basically the for the foreign institution. Okay, for the financial institution. Okay, and our fiduciary relationship over the financial institution. Now, the FI, Foreign Financial Institution, is the Department of the Treasury, public subchartered U.S. Treasury IRS /SS offshore banking and trust system. The letter on the number on the back of your Social Security card, that does not go to the Federal Reserve Bank. That goes to the IRS office in that area. The big one for most people is going to be Atlanta, Georgia, IRS. That's where you get all your tax bills from. That's the U.S. Treasury IRS SS offshore banking and trust local bank. That is your assigned bank. That number on the back is basically your bank number for that bank. Your account number with the Social Security with the dashes out of it, that is your account number that is offshore down in Puerto Rico. And then the bank routing number, this U.S. Treasury, IRS, SS, Social Security, offshore, banking and trust routing number is the Social Security number without or with the dashes. The SS offshore bank and trust is a for hire and profit. It's the public foreign, it's the bank for the public foreign chartered for hire and profit SSA corporation. There's two sides to every coin. Okay? Ford Motor Company makes the cars. Ford Motor Corporation or Credit Union basically is the finance side of the corporation. Two different companies, but they're under one roof. That's the same thing we have here. We have the U.S. Treasury, IRS, okay, and the SS, offshore banking and trust. They're in bed with one another. Do not we have the SS4, which comes out of the IRS, and the SS5, which comes out of the Social Security Administration? That should tell you something right there. Because they're in bed with one another. Those forms are their banking forms. All the IRS forms are their bank and trust banking forms. The IRS out of your local area that sends you the bills, okay, they are basically the presenter. They get you to try and pay their taxes for them by paying the IRS in Kansas City or wherever, which is the de jure tariff taxing organization of the country. So really you have two account numbers. You have a local bank number, and then you have your trust number, which is in the offshore banking and trust system. The trust side of this bank and trust system is the one that's the Mortamain account down in Puerto Rico. We were so damn close, but it's not the Federal Reserve, okay?
Damn.
It's basically this local IRS office that basically is assigned that FE or whatever letter that you have on the back of your Social Security card. And if you check it out, you'll find more than likely that that's where most all of the bills that they send to you come out of, is where that letter is located. All of my tax bills come out of Atlanta, Georgia. That's where my letter F stands for, is Atlanta, Georgia, not the Federal Reserve Bank. It's the IRS accounting side of the SSA Corporation. You might look at the IRS in this regards then, out of those offices, as being the Internal Revenue and Accounting Services.
Patrick, is that why the new candidates is talking about trying to get rid of the IRS?
These guys just complain about every goddamn thing under the sun, okay? And all these other nitwits that are running around here believing that somebody up in Alaska is going to put some damn document over to the Church of Rome and basically straighten this whole damn thing out, they're full of shit. Trillions of dollars. We're going to get trillions of dollars. So everybody just sit on your ass and wait for us. We'll take care of you. That's total bullshit. This whole thing was set up on an individual basis. When I look at it now, I see that I have more wins than not. When I called up this IRS in Atlanta, Georgia, and complained about my dead man, okay, my all-capital name person being a Mortimain person, I talked to one lady. She passed me up to her supervisor. That supervisor passed me up to the manager of the office or whatever, and basically he listened to me for about 15, 20 minutes. He said, after I explained everything to him, he said, I'll take care of this. Wow. 2 weeks later, I got my estate EIN. I didn't file any SS4s to get my EIN, my estate EIN, or my foreign grantor trust EIN.
Neither did I.
See, when you go to Philadelphia, you are not filing an SS4. You're talking to them on the phone.
That's right.
So that one is outside the scope of the Social Security system. It's an exemption number. Your inheritance exemption number. For your birth certificate. As a bank note. Look up in the Valentine's Dictionary. There is basically reference in there to a guy that wrote a book. Basically, it was, let me see if I find it here. Wilbur Ward, in his American Commercial Credits book that was written in 1922. It was basically in the front pages there. It was also noted by our good friend and everything, the first guy that was in charge of the Federal Reserve Bank. I don't know whether you guys know it or not, but basically you can find that out when you go and find the book. Just type in American Commercial Credits, and then basically you can pull up the book on the internet. Okay, you can't download it I've been trying to download it, but you can go through it. And see, that was initially there for the Federal Reserve banking system, talking about the commercial credits in the Federal Reserve banking system, but it carried over into the Social Security banking system because the Social Security is the public bankers' banking system for the people in this country. I sent also out an updated charter and guarantor Rev 2 document. I highlighted quite a bit of stuff under the last page for Social Security. In the broad sense, the welfare of the people with ample means of subsistence and enjoyment of life under the protection of the government. That Social Security card was a promissory note. We just have to issue letters of credit against that promissory note.
Wow.
And then that will set off all the bills. Now, you also have, like, you have an account with a utility company, or I got one with the hospital here. They have a separate guarantor's account number. All I have to do, and see, that's a separate bank account. All I have to do is issue a letter of credit to release the credits that are being held in that account. They were able to access the cargo that was on the SS vessel, using it as collateral to obtain the credits that were needed to set off this bill.
So you just
they've already set off roughly about $10,000 out of the deal, 11,000 I think it was, off of it. All I have to do is set off the other 6,000 that I have to send them in a letter of credit to set that off, to release the credits. Because I'm coming in and basically I am terminating all implied fiduciary agents out there, and I'm taking over the position of fiduciary over this vessel. I told one of the guys this morning, I said, basically, you know, I watched the movie Moby Dick the other day, the old one, 1956, with Gregory Peck in it. The accountants and everything were on board the ship. The captain wasn't there when the two guys came down and signed up on board the ship. They established what they were going to get paid. Now, when the ship got ready to leave, the accountants got off of the ship. They stayed on shore while the ship went out to sea to operate for profit and for hire. That's like the Ford Motor Company making the vehicles. It's a separate entity from the credit, Ford Motor Company Credit Company. It's the other side of the coin. You have to read and understand that. It even addresses the items about a court issue in that 108 document. The court shall offer the parties a reasonable opportunity to present evidence of the standard practice. An issuer shall observe standard practice of financial institutions that regularly issue letters of credit. Banks issue letters of credit. You are a bank unto yourself. Okay, it's your cargo. So it's really your bank account that's sitting there, bank and trust account. So you can, under the standard practices, issue your letters of credit. That's all we have to do. we provide the honor in the process by issuing the letter of credit. Anything else is basically classified as a dishonor.
Patrick, the letter of credit you speaking of, is that the bill of exchange that we need to do? Or
No, you just issue a letter of credit. Make the statement. Letter of credit. A letter. You have a girlfriend. You write her a letter. You tell her you love her. Well, basically with this letter, you're saying, I release the credits from the account. That's what a letter of credit is. Here, I give you these credits, but it's got to be in a letter format to them. Who's it going to? Who's it from? And then the body. That's what a letter is.
Patrick,
Yes.
will we need to put the red code that's on the back of the SS card on this letter?
You're cutting out quite a bit.
Okay, is this better?
A little.
Okay, that number and letters on the back of the SS card, are we going to have to include that on our letter of credit?
Yes, because you've got to address your local IRS accounting bank. The accountants in that local area bank. That's the numbers on the back of your Social Security card. Now it makes all the sense in the world when you look at how the IRS and the Social Security are in bed with one another, and to see when I went back through all my documents, where did all my bills come from for the IRS? They came out of Atlanta, Georgia. Where's the number? The F is located in Atlanta, making that for Atlanta. They use pretty much the same 12 banking districts that the Federal Reserve does. But they're really classified as IRS, Internal Revenue. The Internal Revenue banking system of the people, for the people of the country. Then in a lot of cases, the payment goes to a port of entry. In a vast majority of them, they go to Kansas City. Look at what Kansas City is. It's basically a completely different Federal Reserve Bank that's located there, but it's also got the financial center there in Kansas City. That's a port of entry. So now those credits can be brought ashore out of our Monomain trust account, bank and trust account down there in Puerto Rico. Then they can be converted over into Federal Reserve dollars at that Kansas City Federal Reserve Bank. The same thing holds true for Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia has that other branch, Federal Reserve Branch Bank, for the conversion of the assets out of our birth certificate, our banknote birth certificate. But we have to process it through the Philadelphia Finance Center. And we have to come in with our foreign jurisdiction in to have it processed, because Philadelphia also is a port of entry. It's an intermediary place for all the other foreign states and countries or corporations operating in this country. Now it makes all the sense in the world. It's that damn simple. We've been touching on this, and I had some of this stuff 5-6 years ago in the process, but it's like you have a jigsaw puzzle. You know that this piece goes there, but you just can't see how it's got to go because you got it turned the wrong way. But it's the last piece of the puzzle that's on the table, so you know it's got to go there. You just can't see it because you're looking at it from the wrong aspect. And then to see things like in the movie Moby Dick, to where the accountants don't go to sea, hey, that ought to tell you something right there. You've got, that's the other side of the coin. One is the for-profit and hire side. The other is for the accounting side on the back side. So there's always two sides to every item out here. My University of Iowa healthcare, okay? They've got the servicing side, which is the for-profit and hire, or for hire and profit side of their corporation. But on the other side, they have the financial side, which is a bank, a credit bank that's holding the guarantor account. They've already written the bonds against it. We just have to go in there and give them a letter of credit to release the credits from the account, from the guarantor's account. Then it sets everything off. Now, in a lot of cases, you're not going to get money in your back pocket until you completely collapse that bank account and liquidate it and bring it all ashore. But you can use it right now to set off any and every bill you have out there. But you have to process it through your local bank. So you don't send, when you get a bill from the IRS that says send your payment to the Kansas City IRS, no. You turn around and you send it right back to the presenter with your letter of credit, ordering the release of the credits so that they can now go and pay the Kansas City IRS. You give it back to them. It doesn't say you can't do that.
Yeah, because they supposed to pay it anyway. Yeah, you're right. You should send it back.
But it says it right here in UCC 5, Section 5, 108. An insurer's rights and obligations. An issuer that has dishonored a presentment shall return the document or hold them at the disposal of or send advice to the effect to the presenter. It doesn't say to Kansas City. It says send it to that presenter IRS. If you think that that bill is totally fraudulent, you dishonor and say that this is operating under fraud. Send it back to them. An issuer is not responsible for an act or omission of others. Read that whole document. Understand what it's saying. Okay? Your answer is right there. I said all along, there's never supposed to be any debtor prisons in this country. You make the settlement against your account that basically they're charging you in the court. Traffic tickets, driver's license is a set-off. The credits are there. You just have to give them a letter of credit against that account. Property taxes, you have a certificate of title. You turn around and give them a letter of credit to release the credits against that account that they have. Now, if they don't, then you contact the Inspector General of the Social Security Administration. Because everything out here is being operated through the Social Security banking system. He's the banking inspector. Treasury banking inspector. That's operating under the Department of the Treasury. Not the Treasury Inspector General, which is operating under the Department or the Treasury Department. The FBI is also a federal investigative bureau, banking investigative bureau. They will investigate banking frauds that's going on out here. A lot more people with mortgages, they should have been going to the FBI in the process, in the confiscation, but they never went that way, or they never went to the SS Inspector General. That SS Inspector General will respond to you within a couple days, or basically he will get something done and you will get a remedy within a couple days. One of the guys sent something into him, he got a response back from them. Okay? And I'll just read you a little part of it. As soon as I pull it up here. We received your recent internet communication of potential fraud, waste, and or abuse in the Social Security Administration program. Thank you for taking the time to send us your report. Your allegation will be carefully reviewed. Federal law prohibits the disclosure of any information relating to allegations of potential wrongdoing, even to the person who filed the initial report. Therefore, we will be unable to provide you with any information relating to the actions we may take. However, if you have additional information that you wish to add to your report, please contact us using one of the following: the internet, mail, or fax, or the toll-free number and leave them a message.
Wow.
Harold and I did this almost 3-4 months ago. They stopped taking out income taxes out of his Social Security check. He got all the taxes that they took out put back into his Social Security payment. I got immediate response and had the $70,000 that the Social Security Administration bankers were depriving me of for almost 3 months, saying, well, we need to have authorization. They could have kept dragging that out for a long time until I put that claim of fraud in there because, see, they were using that for their benefit. They were an incidental beneficiary. So they were getting a benefit of holding that from me. But when I put the claim in, they got it taken care of. I told other people about this, and basically, I contacted them 5-6 times. I said, that's total bullshit. I've got proof that they operate right away. And this was the second, this letter that this just got sent back was the second time this guy contacted them, and he got it back within a couple days. They will acknowledge your report. So either these people out here are just too chicken shit to pick up the phone and talk to and put the complaint in, thinking that basically they're going to lose their goddamn Social Security. Hey, it's your shit. They can't take it away. If they take it away from you, then they are committing fraud also. There's so many damn cowards in this country, it's ridiculous. This definitely ain't the home of the brave. That's for sure. It's the home of the stupidities.
Oh, God.
The wimps. Chicken shits, whatever. Now, anybody have any questions on this? I'm still working on trying to get those 56 and the 56F done. I may have to make a few changes to that W8BN. But now I've got, I think, all the missing pieces. Well, they weren't really missing. I just had them in the wrong picture that I was looking at them. Now I've turned them the right direction. Now the puzzle is completed. I just need to put the documentation together.
Okay.
But like I said, a lot of this stuff is right there in the movies. And that movie, Moby Dick, had a lot of stuff in it. And basically that was written all the way back in 1851, prior to all of this shit happening.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that they might not have updated a few things in the movie, since the movie was done in 1956, for further clarification because of the system that was put into place. Okay, any questions, comments, rebuttals? We won't touch upon the male and female aspect of this whole system tonight, though.
You better not.
You might have some women demonstrating on your front lawn there, Patrick. You get into that tonight.
Now, if they come around here, they better be prepared for something else.
Oh, boy.
I have a question.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Speak
up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Will you be posting an example letter of credit pretty soon?
No. I'm not going to write your letter for you.
Yes.
Think I'm going to write your letter to your girlfriend for you? Bullshit. You got to treat this place as this is your girlfriend. Write your own letter of credit. That's all you do in a love letter is you're writing your credits to your girlfriend. Why you want to get in her pants? I'm not going to tell you.
Thank you so much.
Tell her why you should be getting in her pants. You gotta do your own explaining why. It's not that simple or that hard. It's pretty damn simple. You guys have to start thinking some for yourself here. I will post up the Form 56, the substitute 56 and 56F when I get those done, and possibly a template that goes on the back or when we do the claim for the Social Security account and also for the birth certificate and maybe the Medicare card and also for the DD-214.
Okay.
Got to do all those, and they've all got to be basically, in my opinion, they have to be done under a foreign affidavit, so you have your authority to go along with it. Daniel had to do this when he was in Babylon. He was a foreigner in Babylon. So he was giving his foreign affidavit to the Babylonian Empire of his cause, his just cause. And that's what you have to do. You have to give your affidavit so that they have to accept it. It's got to be a foreign affidavit. And that's why I said in most cases, most of the documents we submitted into the court basically were never accepted because they were not coming into this foreign jurisdiction with the authority. And then also, we were not making a honorable presentment. We were not issuing the letter of credit to release the funds.
Just for clarity, Patrick, the letter of credit and the foreign document the notarized foreign document, who does that go to?
To the presenter. You send it back to the presenter, whoever gave you the bill.
Okay, I got you. Got it.
Yeah, read that 508-108 document. It says right there, you return it to the presenter. That's what I'm saying. You get a bill from the Atlanta IRS office that says you've got to pay a bill over to Kansas City. You don't send it to Kansas City. You turn around and send it back to Atlanta. There are two different IRSs. One is the Internal Revenue and Accounting Service that operates for the Social Security Corporation out there. And then the other one in Kansas City is basically the Dishonor Treasury Department in IRS, which is basically the tariff tax collecting agency. Because that is now being brought ashore. Those credits are being brought ashore, so now they have to be processed through the Customs Department there in Kansas City, the port of entry. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, Patrick, can you help me clarify this a little bit? So basically in our letter, we're telling the presenter to re-present this instrument over, or to this bill over to the Kansas City, and we're releasing the credits for processing.
No, you're just giving them a letter of credit. Here's my letter of credit to release the credits for this bill that you are claiming I owe. Now you take care of it in the back room the way you need to. It's up to you. You've got the banking forms. You've got the 1099As. You've got all that shit, all those banking forms that now you need to go over here. You don't need to tell them. They know where the hell that bill goes to. You just gave them the credits for that bill. Now they have to take that and send it over there. It's just like you sending a check back to the bank, okay?
Yeah.
The bank is the one that's obligated to make the settlement for that check over there to that other bank. You don't have to tell them. It's all right there on the bill when you send it back to them. They know where they got to send the payment. And the responsible party is not you. The responsible party is the name on the account. The guarantor account. This being held by the bank. So the bank is under the obligation to the account to make the settlement over to where it needs to go. Just think of your regular bank account. It operates the same way. Does that need to be clarified anymore?
Yeah, I just have one more question.
Yeah.
Should we be endorsing their bill in any way?
You would basically see the attached letter of credit, okay?
Okay.
And then per your local exemption number, your local bank account number, exemption account number, which is the number on the back of your Social Security card. Or basically the bill that you got from the utility company or from the hospital or whatever, okay, that's using your Social Security account. The state property tax. Basically, you have the account number that's on that certificate of title that the state is holding. The driver's license number. You've got the account numbers. That is your exemption. The driver's license is a license to break the law, and they will pay it. You just have to give them the letter of credit to release the credits that go against that license.
And we send the letter of credit to the CFO, right?
You send it back to the address that's on there, basically, and basically you just say, hey, here, I'm releasing the credits to you.
Okay. Makes it easier.
Say it to the accounting system if you need to, okay?
Right.
This needs to go to the accounting system.
Good. Thank you.
To the credit and accounting department.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
Do we still need a cover letter then if we got the letter of credit?
No. You can make your cover letter right into the letter of credit, explain what you're doing. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Thank you.
Patrick, but if you liquidating, you probably wouldn't need a cover letter then.
Well, when you're sending your liquidation order in, yes. Be on the safe side. Always do a sort of a cover letter, and that you can include, you can incorporate it into basically your letter of credit. It could be a 2-part letter. I don't have to tell you this shit. You're supposed to have learned this shit in school. Didn't you guys have letter writing in school?
Not in my class.
Yeah, you did, but it was early on, and basically you probably can't remember that portion. Your mind was on sports or whatever.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep.
Can I ask a question off topic for just a second?
What was that?
What you think about San Bernardino?
About San Bernardino?
Yeah, they had a shooting up there this evening.
They got a what?
14 people got shot in San Bernardino, California. It was on the news tonight.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part of that.
San Bernardino, California, they had 14 people got killed in a shooting at some place.
That's a bunch of nitwits that are just running amok out there, okay?
But that stuff was set up though, right?
Oh yes, all that shit is normally set up in some regards. MK Ultra, basically to incite the people in a lot of cases. And there's a bunch of nitwits running around out here that have been under mind control in a lot of this process.
Yes.
Yeah, the Universal Soldiers, they made a movie about
Yeah.
it.
False flag.
I was just curious. I didn't mean to take y'all off topic.
Yeah, and then basically, I mean, you can see this in all the damn games and everything else that they're putting out there to screw with the young people's minds. Combating the cartoons that basically kids were given to try and learn stuff. If you really want to learn some of this stuff, go and watch some of the old cartoons. There was more shit in those old cartoons than you could shake a stick at.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were trying to reach the young people's minds, and they knew that most adults would not be watching the damn cartoons. So they were able to slip the things in, but they were in hopes that basically they could educate the young away from what was being taken place in the adult factor. Because they already had most of the adults under their control. And the adults knew every goddamn thing under the sun. Just ask them. We know it all. We know the whole system out here. Only to find out they didn't know shit. And then all these other nitwits that are running around out here that basically are setting up organizations and doing all this other happy horse shit, they are the ones that are really controlled. I mean, some damn judge out there is going to be out there saving the people? Bullshit. That's the last person I'd ever look to try and save somebody is a damn judge. He's already under the control of the damn bankers.
That's right. Yeah. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to go that far up the ladder in the first place.
Yeah.
I thought the article was straight on. I thought it was great to have it. I'm thinking that they put it out there like that. Whoever did it, I guess they didn't really do it then.
No, and they're not going to do a damn thing. They're just going to keep the people at bay. Jumping off guard. Sitting on their hands, waiting for somebody else to do it for them. That's just like 90% of the people out here on this damn group. They're waiting for me to do all the shit for them. And I'm getting fed up with it. It's about time you guys started. I put this shit up on the damn internet or on Skype. Not one goddamn question about that W8BN all day yesterday. Today. There was more shit in that damn document. Even some statements in there that I pulled out, the last 5 items, that basically you could utilize in any court action. Because if they are a beneficial owner and also a beneficiary, you are not the beneficiary. You are the owner of the thing outright. They're just a beneficial owner. And they're getting the benefit of it. So who has to pay the bill? The beneficiary, them.
That's some sick ass shit, Patrick. If them people in whatever they did in California and it's 14 dead, that means they had to kill 14 civilians because they sure didn't kill each other. That's some sick shit, dog. Damn.
Yeah, there's going to be more people die out there in California you shake stick at, so I'm not worried about 14, okay? You shouldn't worry about them either. They're out in California. Be thankful you're where you're at, even though it's a fucked up state.
Yeah, and back to the WABN, I took some of that information out of there and did my own 56F. like I was saying before the call started tonight, and I was just curious to see what you're gonna add to the one that you're about to do.
Yeah, well, see, you've got to put down the name of the person you are acting, and it's the Patrick Devine, all capital, offshore estate number. Okay, and then basically the next line's got to be something like vessel owner's estate lien, EIN, exemption identification number. And that would be your estate EIN. And then the next line would be the foreign financial institution that is in place here, which is the Department of the Treasury, public sub-chartered U.S. Treasury IRS /SS offshore banking and trust system. And then the foreign address that I'm going to be putting down is going to be the Atlanta office, that branch office that has my account at it, and then I will put down my account exemption number, which is the number on the back of the Social Security card. And then the type of financial institution, SS Offshore Bank and Trust, for the public foreign chartered for hire and profit SSA Corporation. Is the financial institution insolvent? Yes.
Yeah.
They're a debtor. All banks, they don't have shit. And then you come down and basically then you would put your fiduciary information in there. And then you've got to have the vessel's owner's fiduciary authority over them. Then you have to have the responsibility to settle all tax notices and bills. And that is going to be the responsibility of that foreign financial institution. They're the ones that are obligated. And then basically you'll come down and have your next part would be your foreign affidavit and certification. And then you'd still have the official notary public for the state and county. But you get that other one, the W-8 bin, and basically that encompasses both of what's going to be in the 56 and the 56F.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine a little bit like that. But that, man, you got to. That's tough, man.
And see, all of those freighters, but you have to issue, and that's why I'm going to have to come back in and update that W-8 bin, that basically we will issue a letter of credit to them now that they have to accept that letter of credit to release the funds. If they don't, then they are the ones that are in dishonor.
Mm.
See? You turn the table on them. You're standing as a fiduciary.
Right.
You issue the order to them, the letter of credit, to release the funds. Now, if they don't release the funds, they're in dishonor. Just like you write out a check, and if the bank does not honor that check, then basically they are the ones that are in dishonor, not you. Now, you can also issue a letter of credit to the bank. If you can do it one way, you can do it more than one ways and have them put the credits into your account. Come on, people, think outside the box here. I sometimes feel like that damn statue of the thinker. That I'm all alone and everybody's looking at me, but basically they ain't absorbing shit.
Some of us getting it, Pat. Some of us getting it, bro.
Some of you better start getting it because I threatened to take the damn 2x4 to you. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I got a question, Patrick. Last call, you mentioned if we're going to go get the all the documents notarized, we either had to go to the county clerk or the recorder's office or the Secretary of State in that order. Then you came up with for an elected sheriff's office.
Well, basically, yeah, the sheriff's office is another government official office, and basically the secretary, or there's always somebody there in that sheriff's department because they have prisoners, and basically they have to have available to those prisoners a notary for them to, if the prisoners write out a document that they want to submit into the court, that they have a notary right there notarize that for that prisoner so that it can be sent up to the court.
Okay. Now, my question is then, can it be a sheriff's office that is in the county that's adjacent to the county I live in?
No, it can be the county you're living in.
No, but I prefer to go. There's a de jure.
I don't care where you prefer to go. Go there, okay? It's up to you.
So it doesn't have to be the county I live in, actually, then. It doesn't have to be.
Wherever you can get a notary, an official notary at, okay? Not a commercial notary.
Got it. Thank you.
And see, Tom even said at the beginning of the call, they give the Department of Transportation. That's a government office. And said that they will do notaries for what, $1.50 a page or something like that, I think you said, Tom?
$1.50 a signature.
That's over there in Ohio.
Yeah, and I did it in the adjacent county.
Wow.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
I got a friend that's a notary that's appointed by the Secretary of State. Would that be considered a government official?
No.
Okay.
Is he in an official office capacity?
Okay, I got you. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. If he's working for a bank or something like that, that is not an official government office.
No, I don't work for a bank. He's just appointed by the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, that's a lot of people have gotten that, but basically he's not basically a classified per the definition. Please read the definitions in the dictionary that I posted up there. Check them out, okay? Don't just go by my one definition that I used out of Valentine's, but go check out the other dictionaries.
I've been reading them. I was just asking. That's all.
Well, you shouldn't have to ask if you read them, okay? And listen to the last call. I tried to be very specific about that. I really don't speak to hear myself speak. And I hate to listen to myself. But sometimes I'm wondering if I'm the only one that does listen to myself.
Nope. You're not the only one.
But that's it. It wasn't the Federal Reserve banks that we needed to go to with the number on the back of Social Security. Oh, it was the IRS office. And then see for returns from your account, basically, where'd you have to go to? Ogden and Cincinnati. So that was returned from the credits that were already here in this country. They didn't have to be processed through a foreign port of entry. But we can issue a letter of credit against our bank and trust account that's held down there in Puerto Rico and have those credits be brought ashore from our monomain accounts. Now, if you get a handle on this, you could probably send in a letter of credit to that IRS office and basically have the credits transferred, or even into the financial service department, send a letter of credit in to release so many credits out and transfer them into your local bank account. At that point in time, you'd have to probably do the 1099-A to do the transfer. And see, that would be being done through the Treasury Department IRS office also. And that, where does that form have to go to? Kansas City with the 1099-A form. That's one of the major port of entries, okay, for that. But there's a couple others. Austin, Texas, I think, and basically I forget what the other one is.
Ogden?
No, you'd have to look at the 1096 form and see where it says.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But just take care of the certain things and basically work on the other, getting a handle on it, and then also start thinking about this, okay, and going after your account out there in D.C. But I would try and primarily get the account, the Social Security banking account, shut down because it has fully matured. They're not supposed to be making a profit off of that account any longer. It's matured. You have every right to claim and shut that account down, Dorothy. Liquidate that witch or that bitch. Funny how those two words rhyme. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay.
Yeah, Patrick, I have two more. I have two more questions, Patrick.
Okay.
Okay. Last time you said if you're under 25, it's not really any different because of the fraud that has occurred. So is that still the case? You can still liquidate it. You can still write the letters of credit.
You can basically do an early, okay, from the last call that I made. You said you can do an early maturity.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
Okay. I posted that document up there. Or had Tom post it. Next question. You said you had two. Nobody else has a question? Okay, call tonight, Tom.
Okay, yeah, Patrick.
Yeah.
That first file is still trying to download. It's just getting actually connecting and doing a little better. I'll just leave the computers on because I'll probably receive it eventually.
Well, I sent it to you a second time, and it said the second one was sent.
Well, the second one tells me it's an error because I was already receiving the first one, and it won't accept the same file twice. So the first one is still transmitting.
Yeah, it's up to 94 now, so basically it is working. So
Right, it is working. I'll just leave the computer on. It can work through the night if it needs to.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.